Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to DIY Dozer. This is going to be episode 6 of the Mustang restoration project. In this episode, we're going to be doing the engine dyno, picking up the engine, wrapping up the steering linkage on the car, getting the motor mounts in, and hopefully doing some accessories on the motor to get it ready to have it also installed. Stick around, see what we get into. So here we are with our brand new 302 for the Mustang on the engine dyno, ready to rock. It's a good looking motor right there. Yeah. Well, that sounds good.
Got 1 horsepower better at 200 more RPMs. The graph's going to look the same.
Yeah.
Torque's slightly different, same RPM.
We're at 350 on our torque, 331 horsepower.
Look at the graph and tell you, one lays on top of the other. That's identical running.
I'm guessing you could print that out too, so I can get
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I just picked up the newly rebuilt 302 for the Mustang. I'm on the way to the house. My motor mounts came in the mail. There's a few accessories I need to buy for the front of the motor. I will show that to you here in just a moment as soon as I get it out of the truck. Here we are, unloaded in the garage, a beautiful newly rebuilt 302. Carburetor is in the box in the bed of the truck. I'm going to get it out here in just a second. It's a 650 Holly. Still have to get an alternator and have to get a water pump pulley, but it is ready to go. And for all the curious people, I'm going to show you the build sheet real quick. And here is our build sheet. Stock crank, stock rods, it's bored over 30. SE gear timing set, comp cam. A little bit of work here. There you go. I'm gonna go ahead and tape up the exhaust ports and tape up the water inlet there. Make sure we don't get any bugs or anything in there in the meantime. It'll probably be another 2 weeks before I actually get the accessories on the front of this. So, to be continued. So before this motor can go into the engine bay, I have new mounts. They are here. But before I put those in here and start to put the motor in, I need to connect that little pitman arm there on the cowl. I gotta put that on the steering box. I have to go rent a puller to pull that arm there off that box. I'm gonna knock that out, get that in the car, and then I can go ahead and adjust the steering linkage the best I can, get it relatively straight. All right, so here we are in the garage. I have my steering box here for the Mustang in front of me on the floor. Steering column is still, or steering shaft is still installed on it. I got a pitman arm puller set here, and here's our pitman arm. So you can see the difference here is this is a 6-cylinder pitman arm, and this is a 8-cylinder. This is an 8-cylinder pitman arm here. They look the same. They have the same overall shape where the linkage goes in the holes in the ends in the same spot, but you don't have this extra hole here, and we got a whole new steering linkage setup that has different pieces, which no longer utilizes that hole there. So steering rack finally completely installed. All the parts line up. Everything looks good. I got this this wheel is off here. The brakes, the line's pretty good, looking straight down at it, pretty straight. Everything in there. Same thing on this side with the wheel in. It's relatively straight. Next I'm going to stick some cotter pins in these castle nuts, and after I get all the cotter pins in there, I'm going to I've got to order some bolts for this steering box here. The bolts that were for it I can't find, actually. But we'd like to have some new hardware anyway. Everything was really corroded really bad. I've got some bolts that are sitting in there right now just to hold it in place. That's probably the only thing in this engine bay that's not been repainted. But it is kind of low. It's going to be underneath a brake master cylinder right here. There's some other stuff that's going to be blocking the view of it. It's going to be out of sight really, so not too worried about it. And for the first time in 6 months, this car is now finally back on the ground. Been a long time coming. Get all our suspension tied in there. Still got to order some bolts for that steering box. But it's nice to have this thing sitting down, so I'm excited. About to put in some motor mounts here so that we can get ready to start sitting that motor in the engine bay. I need to get that over here, and then I'll start working on other things as well. This here is a Ron Moore's Performance engine mount kit. This is a nice piece. All these pieces are individually machined. They look well made because of bolts, washers, nuts, everything sealed in their own packaging. Color instructions. This is really nice. It's got clear pictures showing you how to mount everything. I'm going to go ahead and get these put in the engine bay, and get the mounts for the motor also put in on the motor itself. So I'm back here in the garage with the 302 here, and I'm going to go ahead and start bolting some items onto the front of this motor. What we have here is a Carter fuel pump right here in the package, brand new. It came with a gasket, and I also have the bolts here for the fuel pump. I ordered this from CJ Pony Parts. That's where I get the majority of all of my parts for this particular Mustang. It's got all the instructions here, shows you how to do it. This particular oil pump is a non-push rod style fuel pump, and I'm going to go ahead and clean this up with a terry towel with some carburetor cleaner on the surface there. Get some sealant and put a small dab around the gasket there. I'm also going to put some grease on the pump here and get this installed. The torque specs for the 2 bolts here, according to what I'm finding on the internet, which is not always a good place to go to, but I'm seeing 20 to 25 foot-pounds of torque. I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on those bolts as well, and let's get it knocked out. So first things first, I got a little bit of engine degreaser here. I'm going to spray some of that on this terry cloth, and I'm going to clean this fuel pump mounting location here. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the gasket here, and I'm going to get some black Permatex that I've got here, and I'm going to apply a small amount of a film on both sides of the gasket. I'm going to stick it on the pump here, put 2 bolts in the hole, and put it on here. I will be torquing the bolts down to 25 foot-pounds torque. I have here a new Flexolite aluminum fan, as well as a steel 2-groove water pump pulley and new water pump pulley bolts. I picked up all these also from CJ Pony Parts, and we're going to be installing these on the front of the water pump here. They're going to be torqued down to 25 foot-pounds torque. This is a 7/16 socket there. Let's get these put on. Alright, so I've got 2 of the water pump bolts in the fan here, and I've got the fan centered on the pulley. Looking down, it appears I'm going to need a spacer. This fan is not supposed to interfere with the belt that rides on the pulley, and as the belt comes across or off this groove, it's going to hit the fan blade. So we're going to need a spacer, and in order to determine how much of a spacer we need to measure how much fan interference we have here. Looking at it, it appears we have about 3/4 of an inch of interference from the fan here. If we get an inch spacer, that should be sufficient to move our pulley or our fan out of the way of the pulley. You see that blade there sticking out. If I drop that down to the pulley, drop it back an inch, we'll be out of the way of the pulley. So I need a 1-inch spacer to place right here on the back of this fan, between the fan and the pulley, to space it out so we don't interfere with the belts. So back to the drawing board. Gonna order a 1-inch pulley spacer and get this installed. So we'll be back at it here in a couple days. Okay, so my new water pump spacer has arrived. It was on back order for a little while also, but I did get it. Here's the the fan spacer and hardware kit from ACP, part number FMEF020AK. It comes with our bolts and the spacer so I can properly space this fan out so that it doesn't interfere with our pulley down there. I also have a alternator bracket kit that I got here. I've got my alternator bracket bolts, and I have a new alternator here. I got the alternator, that is a CarQuest alternator that I got from Advanced Auto Parts, and everything else you see here I got from CJ Pony Parts. I am pretty much entirely building everything from this Mustang, or on this Mustang, from CJ Pony Parts. They've got everything that I need. They got good customer service, and I like dealing with them. So I've returned a few items now, and it's been an enjoyable experience. So that's it. Let's get right on to snatching this fan off of here, spacing it out, putting it back on, and we will also get the alternator bracket and alternator installed on this. That way we can start moving towards getting this motor put in the car. As you can see, with our new spacer installed, we have plenty of clearance on our water pump pulley. It is tightened down pretty good. We're good to go. Let's get this alternator done. Alright, so as you just saw there, I ended up having to take the fan back off so that I could get the alternator bracket on, because that bolt right there would not come all the way out because of this pulley. Alright, so now that we have it on, the saga continues. What I see here is a misalignment of pulleys. We have our alternator pulley here and our water pump pulley back there. If you get back just a little bit and look with it in line, I know it matters by where I hold the camera. It is off just a touch, but I don't know if it's gonna really affect it or not. It's about, if you see the back pulley back there, it's about that far off. I mean, I can manipulate the camera, make it look straight, but it's not straight. It's probably, there's probably a quarter, maybe an eighth of an inch of misalignment between this pulley here and this pulley here. So we're gonna have to address that. Could be as easy as, honestly, I could probably take a washer and stick a washer back here behind this, and bend this bracket forward just a touch, and bend that bottom bracket forward just a touch, and that will probably space us out where we need to be. So I will address that after I put the belt on. Put the belt on, get the motor running, and see if it squeals or if it wants to jump off there. I'm still waiting on a whole bunch of parts. I did order a whole transmission swap kit. It's for a T5 transmission, as I walk through all my junk here in the garage. So I got a brand new transmission down here in the box. The bell housing is over here in this box with some bolts there for it. I'm still waiting on the clutch, which is on back order. I've got a drive shaft right there in the box. Drive shaft there. Right here I've got clutch line, miscellaneous bolts, brackets for the clutch setup, but no clutch. Okay, so I was wanting to get this motor in the car today. The problem I'm having here is I've got this motor here that's going in my truck, which is back there. 6.0 I'm building. It is tore down, and I'm getting ready to clean up all the parts and re-put it all back together. But it's tore down. It's taking up a lot of my garage space. I got a Harley in the way. Mustang is back there. An old motor right here. It's got to go. I got to get somebody to pick that stuff up. It's just throw it away. Old 5.3 parts. And I got motorcycle engine stuff here for my wife's motorcycle. I got the transmission for the truck, torque converter back there. Point is, I got too much stuff on my garage floor. I have another motorcycle that I need to get in here, like right now. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, even though I don't have my my bolts here for the flywheel, and I don't have my clutch for the back of the motor, I wanted to put all that on there and put the bell housing on, and then put it in the car. I'm gonna have to go ahead and put the motor in the car, so I'll have to readdress that. Oh well, I'm gonna go ahead and take this motor. I'm gonna drop it over there in the car, clear up some garage floor space here, and start cleaning up a little bit and move this motor also. That way I can get my space back. After a long wait on back order, these 3 bolts for the steering box finally have arrived. There's the other 2 on the floor down there. I'm going to go ahead and get this steering box bolted in. This guy right here on the other side of the frame rail. It's just held in place with a bolt that slides through there, but I didn't have the right hardware for it. It has been 6 weeks waiting for these. So let's get these put in. This is going to wrap up this episode. Thank you so much for following along. If you're new to the channel, be sure to click that like button and also subscribe so you'll be notified of future content being released. If you have a question or a comment, drop it down below and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Share the knowledge, share the passion, share the skill, and as always, do it yourself.